Get ready with me in my RV while I tell you one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. So for context, I was in 8th grade. My friend was having a sleepover and there was going to be 30 plus people there. We're doing dance competitions, we're doing skits, we're having fun. It's a good time. Backstory, when I grew up, I didn't really have any soda or anything like that or juices. If you had that when you were growing up, I always thought that you must have been super rich or something because all we had was ever water. So, you know, when I was at this birthday party that I was gobbling up, Sprite Zero to be exact. And a couple hours are going by and after we were dancing and stuff like that, my stomach just kind of starts to hurt, and later everyone starts going to sleep and I am not sleeping at all. I am sneaking to the bathroom multiple times and everyone's knocked out. I am wide awake trying to get my stomach to stop hurting, and it kept making these loud growling noises. I'm like, I need to call my mommy to pick me up, but it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So finally, after tucking myself in the living room, I go into a deep sleep and I start to dream. In this dream, there is a spiral staircase to another room. And when I get up there, I see a bunch of green toilets. No stalls, just green toilets. I run after one of these toilets, hunker down in the seat, and I push as hard as I can. And then all of a sudden, I hear... I was farting out loud. The didn't wake me up. Me going... woke me up. Right, now it's your turn to comment your most embarrassing story. What do you say? Does it top mine?
Story time about how my ex thinks I cheated on him. Well, I get ready. Get unready. Whatever. Here's the nighttime fit. Just like pink sweats, gray crop. Super cute. It is so freaking hot in here because I am right by like 2 rooms back there that don't have any AC. So what does it do? It floods in here. Like the hotness just... So yeah, I'm struggling, but I have a window open. Also, I forgot all my toners at my mom's house, or except one of them I left at my cousin's house, but I'm gonna go wash my face, then I'll be back. Okay, let's get to the story. So my ex-boyfriend, who we're gonna call Jacob, was honestly a really good boyfriend. Like, we hung out a lot, like, he was super sweet and stuff, but part of me, like, so, let me backtrack. So, one thing about girls is that they lose feelings mentally before they actually go and break things off. So, I had lost feelings for maybe a couple days, maybe like a week, before I actually ended things with him. And also, I'm not saying that, like, girls losing feelings is, like, an excuse. I'm just saying it's literally, like, it just makes so much sense, because that's what happened. Like, I saw a TikTok that said that, like, maybe 3 days after, and I was like, hold on, that's literally so true. Because he was like, I thought everything was great, I thought we were good. We weren't. And I don't see anything wrong with things not working out. Like, even if things were good for him, like, and they weren't good for me, like, it wasn't right. So basically, I just broke up with him because I thought we were way better as friends. I didn't like being in a relationship. I didn't like how I felt in a relationship. Just like a ton of different reasons. Most of them involving me. Like, it wasn't about Jacob. It just wasn't. Like, I really loved him. And so I thought we were good when we broke up. Then he found out that I was hanging out with my guy best friend, who's literally like my brother. And I'm not saying that. Like, he's literally my brother. You don't have to worry about him. Like, I've known him for 3 years. We, like, always hang out. We're best friends. And so I, like, wasn't even thinking he would be fazed by it because he literally hung out with his ex while we were together. And I was obviously insecure, but I didn't say anything. So anyways, we break up, and then a couple weeks pass, and he just starts picking random fights with me. Like, some of the most weirdest shit he will just pick a fight about. And I was like, sir, what are you doing? Those arguments are a story for another day. But basically, he would, like, screenshot stuff, and then I'd be like, why'd you screenshot that? But I wouldn't say that, and I'd be, like, all petty, so then I'd screenshot stuff. I'm for sure gonna have to make a part 2 of this. So yeah, he just started picking random fights, and then he started telling me that I cheated on him the day that I broke up with him, and that's why I broke up with him with my friend who we're gonna call B. Now, personally, like, fidelity is a big thing in my life. Like, I would never cheat on somebody. If I wasn't happy in a relationship and I wanted to be somebody else, I would just say that. And we both know I don't have the brain power to 2-time somebody. Do you see this hair color? Anyways, that's all for part 1. Go to part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys the most humbling experiences I've ever had. So this particular story literally haunts me at night. So this story time takes place in the 2nd grade, so I was about 7. So I was in the school restroom, which I thought I was alone in, and I realized I didn't have any toilet paper. So my best idea I thought of was I should just get on all 4s and crawl under to the stall next to me to get toilet paper. I have no idea what I was thinking because that is like clinically insane, but I did it anyways. So imagine 7-year-old me on the bathroom floor, on all fours, army crawling to the stall next to me. And so as I am literally crawling into the stall next to me, I look up and there's a person there. Now the most embarrassing part is I looked back up at her and I was like, can I get toilet paper? What was wrong with me? And this girl, she was in the 5th grade, which means she was like the school leader, so she was like super cool. And I probably just traumatized her for life. And now every time I try to sleep, I just see her facial expression, her reaction when she saw me crawling under her stall. Now, in this story time, I was in the 4th grade and I woke up really late one day. And now, since I woke up really late, I did not have time to brush my hair. So when I pulled up to school, my hair was in like this giant rat's nest. And when I was younger, I used to have the biggest OCD about having tangled hair because my hair was like almost to my hip. And so when I got to school, I went to the bathroom to brush my hair out with my fingers. Which, if you have ever tried to brush your hair out with your fingers, you kind of know how that ends. Anyway, so I went to the bathroom and started combing my hair with my fingers, and tons of my hair kept on falling out. And so by the time I was done combing my hair was all over the bathroom and it looked like a literal crime scene. And I remember after I was finished, I just went back to my classroom acting like nothing happened until this girl in my class ran in and was like, oh my god, there's hair all over the bathroom. It's so gross. And so they got all the teachers to go to the bathroom and figure out what happened. It was so bad. And teachers actually thought like something like really bad happened in there. But it turns out it was just 11-year-old me trying to brush my hair with my fingers. Now this memory particularly haunts me is because the teachers found out that it was me who like combed their hair in the bathroom with my fingers, and they made me go to counseling. Like they made me go to the guidance counselor because I thought I was like having a mental breakdown or something. I probably honestly was, but still. But it was the most embarrassing thing ever because I was singled out by all the teachers and sent to the guidance counselor's office. And back in the day, that was like super embarrassing. And guys, the stories only get worse from here on out. Like for part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you all about a time I got caught sneaking out. So I was about 14 and I had a friend that lived down the street and we used to like always hang out. I probably need to take that off. She was my best friend. Like I was always with her, blah blah blah. We're gonna call this friend that I had Maddie. Me and Maddie were always super close, and one night she texted me, she's like, hey, we should hang out tonight. And I was like, yeah, sure, like ask your mom and let me know. And I was like, I'll ask my mom too. So I get a text from Maddie and she's like, hey, my mom said no. I was like, oh, like mine did too. She said we could do it another night. And like we really wanted to hang out because at that time I had just got back from vacation, so we didn't get to see each other for like 2 weeks almost. We just went along with our day, and then later that night she texted me, she's like, hey, you should just sneak out and come over, like my mom's asleep, it'll be fine. And I was like, well, my mom's still awake, I might if she goes to sleep soon because she had work the next morning anyway. This was like at 9 p.m. So my mom finally decides to go to sleep, and I'm like checking to make sure she's actually asleep because I didn't want to get caught. And I call her and I'm like, hey, she's asleep, I'm about to leave. So Maddie's house is like a 3-minute walk from mine. And when I got outside of her house, I called her, I'm like, hey, I'm here. Keep in mind, Maddie had a Ring doorbell, so I couldn't like walk right in front of her house, and a cop also lived beside her. So me and Maddie are on the phone together, and she's like, you're gonna have to jump the fence into their backyard because they didn't have a ring back there and nobody was gonna be able to see me. So I did. So when I'm over and I'm in her backyard, she also has a dog that was back there. Maddie like tried to quietly open the back door so I could come in, and like I successfully made it in and we went to her room. So I wasn't like a very rebellious kid when I was a little bit younger, but I still did a few questionable things. And me and Maddie are in her room and we're like just talking, like just a little small talk about my vacation and whatnot. And she literally gets a call from her little situationship. They had no idea what they were. They just didn't know it all. So this dude was a little bit older than me and Maddie were. And he was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, let's hang out.
And of course, Maddie was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But I have a friend over. And I knew this dude. We were like chill. He didn't care. He was like, it's fine. Like, it's just gonna be us hanging out. He also lived in our neighborhood, like a 3 or 4 minute walk from Maddie's house. This kid gets there, he climbs over the gate, and he comes in through the back door. And he gets inside. He starts being extremely loud, like talking really loud, and will not shut up. So as he's literally screaming, Maddie is like, dude, you have to be quiet. My parents are sleeping. And if I get caught, like, with you here, they will literally call the cops. Go to part 2.